Before the fire, who was Darren?
Darren was Darren, the old Darren. Something that was way different to what I am now, like, do you know what I mean? Different man, different calibre of a man. Completely changed my life over the 5 years. I've sculptured and changed myself in a different manner now, and I see life completely different. I miss the old Darren, but I'm grateful for the new Darren, if you know what I mean.
Definitely.
100%. And
tell me, how was life like during lockdown?
Oh, it was a bit tough, to be honest. So when lockdown hit, everyone, obviously the building site shut down. I couldn't get a job because obviously everything was closed, and I wasn't up to date with me tax returns. So with that being said, I seen all my mates on site getting 7 grand and then get another 11 grand with the furlough payments, this, that and the other. I tried to get my things sorted, but because of the late filing fee with the tax return, I was unable to get financial help. So I went into a bit of pot of misery with depression, not being able to work, and I had hot kids that are doing all daft crazy things, this, that and the other, and I don't really want to involve myself in that. I've always been a worker, do you know what I mean? So then the only thing I started to do was help myself to a bit of scrap metal out of old abandoned buildings, because it was a side thing that I'd done separate from work. I used to get 500 kilo in the boot and get paid 2.5 grand every other night or every weekend. So it was a nice little bonus, but unfortunately in lockdown, I let my guard down and I had a major life-changing accident, mate. It blew me everything apart, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember lockdown was quite, you know, like you say, everybody was told to stop working, and like myself as well, if I don't work, I don't get pay, and you were in the same boat, like you say, with the tax returns and all those things.
Yeah.
And they're not getting money, and that putting financial stress on you.
Makes you make bad choices as well when you're not
exactly.
As well.
Desperation, you know, when people are desperate and you've got families to feed, you're going to look for any way or any means option necessary, right?
Within reason, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to go rob people or stab somebody. But
I could have done other things that brought in a lot of cash quicker, but I'm not. I've got a heart, you know what I mean? And I think the reason why I did survive the initial accident is because I've got that much of a good heart as an empath. The heavens above granted me a second chance at life when I did have my accident, whereas if I was a scumbag or some sort of bad person with bad energy and bad aura, is that I know people that were disrespectful to the missus, disrespectful to the kids, disrespected life, and they're no longer with us due to a small accident. And it's like, I've got a lot of questions and I see a lot of suffering in the world and I see a lot of different people. And when I see people who've like had a very small accident, way less than mine, and the heavens above are taking them, it makes me question, what is my purpose? Like, what's my reason to be here still strong and be inspired? I've got a purpose now and I've sort of found my purpose, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, tell me, when you went to that building, how long did you know about this building, and was it clear that it's abandoned?
Yeah, so what I used to do, I used to go on a website called 28 Days Later, and I used to premeditate me, things that I used to do, pre-plan it, I'd be open and proud about it. And basically, look, 28 Days Later is a website and it shows you all the old abandoned places, like industrial, hospitals, train tracks, this, that and the other. So what I'd do, I'd go investigate and I'd look at pictures online, this, that and the other, and I'd see something really exciting. I'd be like, mate, get in the car now, we're going there. She goes, I don't even want a bonus treat. Sometimes it failed, sometimes we got chased off site, ambushed or whatever, because they don't have motion sensors cameras. This was an abandoned steelworks in Wolverhampton. And the Wolverhampton Steelworks, it's all demolished, shut down, all abandoned. It's been rotted in disrepair for 20 years by the looks of things. I went in, I collected whatever metal I could find, and then I left it at the fence line ready to get pulled through. And then as I left it at the fence line to pull through, I got my eye on another substation that I found on the site, because the other one that I located was completely ransacked and empty. So I went to this other substation, and for some reason, Dean, normally I do my checks of this, that and the other, and for some weird apparent reason, I didn't do no checks. I just undone the panel on the switchboard. Bearing in mind, this is copper bars thicker than a wooden pallet, say, interlocked 20, 30 foot long inside a machine. That's the main raw power, powering power to 987 houses, and I think it was 76 factory units. So, and that's over 1,000 amps with 11,000 volts, mate. So that when that current surge went through me, it blew through me. Lucky I had my anti-outside casing on the machine, so that went through me, earthed, and then it went with an arc flash bang. Whereas if I didn't have my anti-outside casing, I would have stuck to it and I would have turned to ash crumble, like a bucket of ash on the floor.
Wow.
So obviously I was lucky, but what happened was, when I done that, I got blasted off the wall, off the ceiling, and catapulted across the other side of the room. like 10 foot across the other side of the room. While that's happening, the machine's still going, sparking, flames, big fuck off fireball in there, this, that and the other. As the room was probably about twice, 3 times the size of this. It was bellowing out with thick smoke, like poof, like a massive... An electrical fire is the worst fire you can get. It's worse than oil, it's worse than petrol. The excrucial energy that gets created from it is phenomenal. And the 2 lads that I was with, one got blasted out the doorway park because he was near me, but he didn't get no injuries, luckily. They was outside the room, and they didn't know what to do, mate. They thought I was dead, and the fire that they seen in the corner of the room was me burning alive on fire, mate.
Shit.
So I'm in a room clinically dead for 2 to 3 minutes with all my clothes ignited, burning. I'm out of it. I knew spiritually, at the moment of touching that thing, I was spiritually aware that I lost my physical body. I just knew that I passed over. I was like, no, my mum, my partner at the time, this, that, and the other. Big major loss. So I know when your physical body stops and your energy stops and your heart, your electrons stop, then my electrons bounce somewhere else because I was reading it from that somewhere else, do you know what I mean? Oh. And then after 2 to 3 minutes being clinically dead, flatlined, I've somehow miraculously woke up and ran about a quarter of a mile. You've seen the video.
Yeah, I saw
down the canal path. It's a fucking joke, mate, what I ran. Yeah. Goes over the big 8-10 foot fence. Don't ask how I catapult myself over. Bearing in mind, me forearms, they were gone, mate. Like, dude, I could see the 1 bone, the 2 bone, the bicep was hanging off, the tricep was hanging off, half my face was hanging off. And I managed to get over a big barbed wire fence with 3 lots of looms of barbed wire. That would have ripped me to pieces as I was climbing over.
Wow.
Frosby flopped over, hit the fucking floor, which is 3.5-4 metre drop on the other side. Big high fucking 10 to 12 foot up, mate. Wow. Bam, slapped on the floor. I'm well ahead of the 2 lads. They were still getting over the fence while I'm halfway down the canal with adrenaline. They're screaming, stop, we need to put water on you, on fire. And full of that much adrenaline, I didn't even know I was still on fire, mate. I just fucking run for my life. Something was telling me I need to get to the main road. So the journey that I've done, which is pinned on my Instagram, that shows the full shebang of it. So anyway, it gets down the fucking major road on the main canal bank. And then I remember having to stop rolling around on the floor to put myself out of light because there's the combustion charge. A few seconds later, mate, this is no word of a lie, I could see electric static charge going zzz, zzz, across my chest, mate. Like there's electric, that much charge in my body. And then I reignited twice, like someone's gone bump with a bucket of petrol and poured it all over me. It was phenomenal, mate. I still get scarred memories from it now.
Of course, you know what I mean? Yeah. PTSD.
Yeah, fucking PTSD and complex pain from that, mate.
Yeah.
Enough to blow anyone's socks off. So anyway, that happened twice. Gets to the main road and down the main front. And then I went to go over to the car to look at myself, and my mates pulled me away. He said, no, don't, because I was seeing my fucking face was hanging off, all my bone was exposed, everything. I was a complete write-off mess, do you know what I mean? And then blood was pouring out my both arms, so where I was blown off, all my tissue had gone off my arms. I remember it's like a hose pipe going just pumping out off the heartbeat. At this time, I'm losing my energy, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, I'm gonna die, freaking out, mate. Like, I'm talking, I get traumatised by it now, but I think of the journey I've had and it outweighs the trauma, do you know what I mean? And I remember being stood in the road, and I kid you not, mate, it's like a fucking 2 metre puddle around me. I'm stood in a massive pool of blood. So you can imagine the amount of blood that's in the room, then the amount of blood that's travelling all down the fucking canal path, sorry for the language, and then all the blood around me. I'm on my last reserve. They said I had over 80% blood loss.
Wow, and you stood in public? Was there people around in daylight? I'm stood in the
main road at 9:30 at night, mate.
Oh, it's at night?
At night time, 9:30 at night, I'm stood in the road, screaming, I'm gonna die, I'm freaking out. I knew I was going, do you know what I mean? And then as that happened, an ambulance was coming down the road. And that ambulance wasn't even for me, mate. It was for somebody else. So I ran in front of this ambulance, put my arms out, I'll die. Bearing in mind, I'm naked with my fucking private bits hanging out on display, mate. Pants hanging off my ass and everything. Smoke coming off me. Steaming, mate. It was horrendous, mate, yeah? So the 2 paramedics, they looked at me, I was shaking like, whoa, what's happened, mate? And so I'm telling them, I said, mate, I've been violently electrocuted. Help me, please, I'm going to die. So
and you knew what happened to you?
Yeah, I was telling him, and he was like, oh, I didn't know what to do. So I've walked myself into the back of the ambulance, and I'm screaming, but as I'm in the ambulance, now with 2 paramedics in the back of the ambulance, my adrenaline's wearing off now. So the pain at the threshold, mate, I'll swear you up, the full stomach there, yeah? Right up the carcass there, right up the other side, the pain on my chest wall. Oh boy, I was screaming, you could hear me from Scotland. It was phenomenal.
And that's the first time you could feel the pain?
Yeah, and I'm lucky, I only felt it for about few minutes, a very short brief of time. Because by that time, my leg was getting strapped up to a machine. They had a big fuck off drill bit going woo, straight into the kneecap, and a big 8-inch drill bit this big, and put me straight into an induced coma, straight into the bone marrow. Because they couldn't, when you're shaking, you can't find a vein. When there's that much panic and trauma, you can't physically find a vein, you know? So they put me in an induced coma with that, and that was my last memory then. And then I had 29 days in an induced coma. But after later on down the line, after getting the medical reports of this, that and the other, I had 387 beats on the heart. Wow. So your heart rate's 90 to 110, you do a bit of gym training, it's 150, 180, 210, 220 max, depending on your age. You multiply and subtract as you know, whatever your age is, you subtract whatever. As that happened, I'm in the back of the ambulance, and when I'm obviously in an induced coma, they're trying to clean up my body, trying to isolate the blood, this, that and the other, like stop the bleeding. I had 387 beats on the heart, mate, so then defibbed me 3 times, I went bump, and then found a little sinus rhythm, a little twitch, so they gone bang. 3 times I'd done it, every one I flatlined. So then I died again for the second time, in the back of the ambulance. I signed off as deceased at 21:56. This ain't a joke, mate, I've got the paperwork at home to back it up, and I can show it on the thing I send it, you can add it into this, yeah? 387 beats, defibbed, flatlined 3 times, and then I was pronounced dead at deceased off at 21:56. They called it through as deceased, this, that and the other. And while I was cleaning up the ambulance and fucking whatever, I still had the thing on my finger. You know what I mean? As like a precaution, you know what I mean? Just in case. Come back, mate, 14 minutes later at 22:08. The next report comes through on the auxiliary machine with the heart monitors, this, that and the other. Come back alive at 22:08. Then they had major cardiac arrest problems, you name it. And then obviously I got shipped off to Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham. And that's where I died again, I believe, in the hospital. I flatlined again, and multiple times just to bring me back. It was a joke, mate. And they said to me in the hospital, they said, 30 years of being a medical expert, because the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Birmingham, that's where the trauma troops go from Afghanistan. They're the best elite people in the country for trauma, do you know what I mean? Yeah, so that was that. So they said to me when I woke up, they said, Mr. Harris, in all our 30 years of having major trauma and electrical burn and injuries, that and the other, we've never seen such a significant injury where someone survived. We've had people with 240 volts, 3-phase, 370 or whatever it is, with small burns to the hand, the heart's giving. Then the eyes, when they've done testing on the eyes, it's almost have never been electrocuted. Because normally when you have a very small zap, it causes a star retina in the back of the thing when they do the eye testing. They said it's a phenomenal miracle how you got your brain activity. But little did I know, when I got blasted off the machine and bounced off and ragged about like a cat doll, my fucking head now popped like a watermelon. I had all my skull exposed, I was bleeding out the brain and everything. Half my brain was exposed with a big massive crack right down the skull, where I went banging it and my head popped like a watermelon. So when I was gone for 14 minutes, that's what allowed me to survive and keep my brain activity, because oxygen was going direct to the brain.
Wow.
Because otherwise, when you're dead for more than 3 minutes, you lose brain activity.
Yeah, that's amazing. So and you would have thought all the electricity would have caused brain damage, or how's your heart?
Good, I'm strong as an ox now, but I hope so anyway.
You're not on any heart medication or anything?
The hospital, they put me on 5-6 lots of medication, a right cocktail. They want me to have 320 odd tablets every single 30 days.
Wow.
Without even a review, without saying how are your bloods, this, and just gone, there you go, you leave the hospital, take them and you'll be fine. Like, I'm very grateful for the hospital to save my life, and I'm very grateful for the care plan, for what they did for me to bring me back. But at the same time, I wish I could have been fixed up by the NHS. Do you know what I mean? Because then if I got fixed up in the first 2 years, say, a bit of hopes of reconstruction services, this, that and the other, I would have been saved from a magnitude of PTSD, trauma, mental health, attempts of suicide, back and forth like a yo-yo, with me heavy disfigurement that's laid heavy on my heart. Do you know what I mean?
Now, if you could go back and speak to the old version of yourself before you went into that building, what would you say?
Now what I know, with obviously the information and my belief system as to why my accident initially happened and why I believe I was reincarnated and this, that and the other with my granddad's brother, which has been put out there, I'd be like, do you know what, I can't wait to put my fucking hand to that machine. Because ever since that's happened, even though I wish I never did it, and I wish I still looked like the old Darren, it breaks my brother's heart who sat with me now to see me having this journey and so on, but how can I put it, like, I wish I had the old Darren. Do you know what I mean? But it's hard. It's a hard thing, because like I think to myself, if I had the old Darren, I wouldn't have these opportunities that's coming my way. I wouldn't have a different spectrum of life. I'd just be a 9 to 5, work are going back and forth and are just basic life.
It's amazing how you can appreciate things almost more, even though you're in pain and things, you know.
So the pain and the sculpturing of the journey and the upset I've been through with everything, it's made me a tougher person. It's strengthened and toughened my boots and made me a strong, resilient soul. And it's made me see life in a complete different spectrum now, where I am very, very grateful. I appreciate life and see life in a complete different way than I would ever done if I never had the accident. I'll probably be in that setting of frequency before my accident for another 10, 20 years. Going old, going nowhere, this, that and the other. Whereas now I've had that major blow to the system, it's rewired and remapped my brain cells. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So it makes you think maybe everything does happen for a reason, and maybe it's not ideal physically, you know.
Well, in Chinese sculptures, when you do digging the archives of research, they believe that your whole life chart is coded and imprinted before you even thought of. So when you get deja vu moment and you're like, hang on, I've been here before, and it comes from theta, your brain off the ether and that, it's like, how does your mind and your subconscious mind tell you that you've been there before when you've never physically been there? And that's because you're on a plane of existence what's been pre-coded and printed and scripted before you even thought of. It's a fact. That I believe that heavily. Do you know what I mean?
And then what were you later told happened to your body, or did you know for a fact you were electrocuted?
Yeah, so at the moment of impact I knew what had happened, and then when I was in the back of the ambulance I was unsure if I was going to live or survive. In my mind at that very moment, when I'm looking at that pool of blood and I'm screaming with no flesh on my fucking arms, mate, and I know I've been electrocuted, so it's not just like a car crash or a fire accident. I'm dead, mate. In my head I've finished, there's no coming back from this. So when I woke up 29 days later, I was like, wow, disorientated to fuck. So in my vision, I've experienced 3 planes. I've experienced this plane we call Earth that we live and experience now, which most people only ever get to experience. Some people get to experience, obviously, death as well, and they come back, which is the case. So I've experienced this life we call Earth. I've experienced passing over to the other side because I was spiritually aware I lost my physical realm. And it was a fucking frightening but beautiful place to be in. And then obviously when I was in a coma for 29 days, that was a spectrum of experience but was very vivid, very, very fucking weird and vivid. And it, like, I've started documenting the bits on the laptop and writing it down to ready to get a book story on that. Do you know what I mean?
Did you experience anything when you died?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel you saw anything, or?
Yeah, so when people say you see looking at yourself, I didn't see nothing like that. But when I was in a coma, I remember hearing the nurses around me, this, that and the other. But I was more in a different wavelength of spectrum. So I remember having visions of being in this like water tank, and I was being elevated up and down in water, and they had these like humanoid weird creature beings that were like giants almost, or some sort of big faces or whatever it was. I can't remember exactly because it's a very weird experience that I went through, but I was basically being monitored by a higher force that was watching over my physical body. Obviously the medical staff in the hospital, this, that and the other, but I was in a different viewpoint of it, and it's almost like the world and our God and Creator, this, that and the other, was flabbergasted with me surviving, and that was being backed and protected by this higher force of energy to keep me alive. Some people call me cuckoo and weird and say you need protection, and say, listen, you're not fucking experienced it, mate. I'm the one that's lived it, I'm the one that remembers it, and I remember it crystal clear. I remember the full shebang from start to finish, do you know what I mean?
And who do you think is that higher power? Do you think it's God?
I don't believe in mad things. Like, I believe there's a higher power of our Creator. I don't know if it's God, because obviously we've all got different belief systems, this, that and the other, but I know for 100% fact certain there's another force of energy above us, watching us and monitoring us and dictating our life and controlling us as human beings. Because who the fuck put us here? You know, I mean, you got to ask yourself that. Who put this world here? Who put us people here? Do you know what I mean? I believe as well, everything that you do, whether you got your thought perception, your mind, everything that you see through your eyes and your lens, if you got a mobile device, a camera, and you can take pictures on that camera and you see through it, it gets stored on the camera. If you smash that phone up, it's no longer existing, but it's stored on a backup iCloud. So when we die and our physical body is finished and done with and we're in the grave, our lifespan of 80 odd years, do you believe that that's never going to get seen and witnessed ever again? I believe that that's a memory bank for the God and Creators to see. So everything that we do and everything that we think of and how we see life, how we treat others is always being monitored 24/7.
I feel it's almost like a test, and you will be
100%.
you know, kept accountable for
Your bad choices in life.
Yeah,
so if you've
yeah.
got people that make bad choices and people that go around robbing people, bullying people, this and the other, just look how their life's turning out.
Yeah, that's what I talk about, karma, and it comes back almost worse.
Macho dickhead's like, yeah, I'll punch this guy up. I can't stand people like me, bro. I'm a love man, do you know what I mean?
I think being a good good to other people and animals.
For it, mate. You get credit for it.
and help people, not necessarily with a camera in their face for social media, but if you genuinely want to help somebody,
if you got that thought in your brain,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you got that in your brain, the heavens above and the connection of our creator puts it, they see that your values. So I believe when I did die, at that moment when I was gone for so long, my enjoying riches with God and whatever connection I've got going on with my reincarnation, my granddad's brother, this, that, and which is a separate matter, it got valued and appreciated, and that's why I believe I was blessed and granted a second chance at life. Do you know? That's my belief system on that one, anyway.
And how did losing parts of your appearance affect you, you know, mentally?
Fucking hell, boy. That was a bad blow, that. So, I first got to it, so when I was in the hospital and I was waking up, coming around in the hospital, Birmingham, I asked them for a mirror. Mr. Harris, we can't give you a mirror with this, that and the other. And they wouldn't let me have my phone that my mum gave me. I said, no, because you're going to take a picture of yourself. We can't let you see yourself. You can have your phone whenever. I said, I want my phone. I said, Mr. Harris, you need to realise you've been through a serious life-changing accident, and we can't allow you to see yourself. It's important, not until you're healed up a bit more and you come round a bit. We can't allow this because it's bad. So then I was curious and I started kicking up a fuss. So obviously I thought, fuck this, I'm going on a walk. So I just got me a bit of thing. I started walking within a few days of waking up, mate. And they had to pull me off the ward and put me back in the bed. So you can't be walking. You know what I mean? They wanted me to sit in bed for weeks. So in the end, I got all my life support machine, my bits and pieces that was all wired up, my monitors and everything, blah, blah, blah. And I've unplugged it all. And I'm walking down the fucking corridor, mate, down the wing with it all, like on the trolley jackson, on the wheels with the battery pack and all that. And they was having a right dicky fit. And I said, listen, whether you like it or not, I'm going for some fresh air. You can bring some with me, or you can monitor me from a distance. I said, I'm going out for some fresh air. And then what hit me was, the elevator opened up, and the wall at the back was a full solid mirror. So as I've opened that elevator, boom, it fucking hit me.
Oh, wow.
And I tell you something, mate, when I seen the loss of my full face and I was looking, I just crumbled, mate. I didn't want to be here. Do you know what I mean? I still get eaten up with it now, but I'm very lucky. I've had certain supplements and treatments, this, that and the other, that's helped me rebuild my identity and helped get me a better person. But at that very moment of existence, when I see myself for the very first time, fucking hell, mate.
Yeah, I think that would be a huge blow for anybody.
It's not like a small burn
no.
to the jaw, so this, that and the other. It's just my arms. My full fucking face got blown off, man.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to the surgeon, he said, Mr. Harris, your face was that bad. He's a bit like, you have to be blunt and honest with me. And he said, if you had to get a scalpel, and we had to scalpel your whole face all the way around, and we literally grabbed the full top of your forehead, what was all badly burnt and crisp, and we just peeled it right off with your eyelids and everything come off in one. So they cut down the nose, this, and done a few incisions on the lip bit where I wasn't badly burnt on the lips, yeah? And he said, just peeled the full face off and flung it in the bin. That's exactly how I described it. I went, fucking hell, that's nice of you, innit? He said, well, you want the truth? You want to get, we have to be this way to you so you can get tough. We can't pussyfoot around someone who's been through your trauma. It's a military grade hospital where they treat the Afghan troops, do you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
And when he said it to me like that, when he said, we just peeled your full face off and flung it in the bin, that hit home, man.
And what did they replace it with? Just skin growth?
Yeah. Jigsaw puzzle bit by bit, like done a bit of the eye here, done a bit of the nose.
They've done a good job, because I wouldn't have known. I thought it's just burns, which obviously
the full face come off.
Yeah.
You can all my eyelids.
I thought it's still your original face skin.
No, I took the half of the camera, fuck it.
Yeah.
My full face got blew off, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like the full face come off. And then obviously got folliculitis derbicans, which is a disease on the scalp. So I had hair up to where they took the face off, but then folliculitis derbicans kicked in, it started spreading. So I've done a bit of research on that. And if you don't get on top of it, it goes to the full baldness. So it's 89% of burn survivors go completely bald. So what I done with my brother as well, he's like, you're fucking mental. I got TCP and woolen pads, yeah, you know, TCP antiseptic. Didn't dilute it enough and just put woolen pads straight in and just slapped it on the scalding head when it was going septic. Oh, I screamed, mate. I screamed, like, shaking and all that. But it got rid of it. It stopped the major folliculitis derbicans. It got rid of it for me, do you know what I mean? And I managed to save a bit of hair. So eventually when I get some sort of capital behind me and I get the balloon surgery, I can bring my hairline down so much. And then I can get micropigmentation sketch it in, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do micropigmentation as well, actually.
Right. We'll get that when I get the balloon surgery and the hair transplant done.
We'll sort it out.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge. It'll probably be a long way off because I've got to get the balloon done. Then I want to pluck the life out the... because I don't want to get micropigmentation on it now because it's pointless. I want to get the hairline brought forward, then get a hair transplant plucked from the back because then I'll have no shot back inside so I can rape the life out of the back. Bring that round, stagger, do the infills. And once I've done the infills, then finish it off with a blend of micropigmentation. And I bet I get an 80-90% match of appearance back then. Do you know what I mean? A good closeness. So where I'm comfortable, where I can walk around without a hat on. Because I've been in a hat for 5 years. Do you know what I mean? It's no good mindset living in a hat for the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Still fairly young, I'm 33, happened when I was 28.
And after this, you know, losing your appearance, was there anger, shame, acceptance?
Oh yeah, big time.
How long did it take you to accept the fact, you know?
I didn't leave the house for 2 years, 18 months, 2 years. And when I did, it was in the car with a hood up and a fucking thing over my thing, this, that and the other. Even when I was in the car, I didn't go in shops or nothing.
Is that because you're embarrassed?
Yeah, embarrassed, Because one, I fucked up and made a bad judgment of it. 2, I wrote off mess. And 3, I didn't want... I was already the talk of the town. People saying I lost my arms, this, that and the other, which was 80% chance double arm amputation anyway. But it's hard blow, mate. Do you know what I mean? Losing your fucking face, mate, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's hard for people to... You know, to not be ashamed of a injury because it's an accident. You know what I mean? It's not your fault.
For me, it's my own fault as well. So when I done my very first news report, I had to tell the nation and tell the world, look, I fucked up. I was a thieving bastard in lockdown. I was getting up to no good. I was doing mischief. I shouldn't have been doing it, but I had no choice but to do it because I was struggling financially. It's either that or sell drugs or go and robbing people.
Yeah. Well, fair play for you know, admitting your wrongdoings. Do you feel there should have been a more precaution in place for this building so you couldn't enter it?
Yeah, so it wasn't secured. The front gates was wide open. There was a few holes in the fence line, this, that and the other. I did try to get a claim of compensation, but because I got previous on the record for this thing, and it was a premeditated attack and so on, and the law states ex turpi causa, it come out in 2016. When you had 2 people in a car crash, an elderly woman got badly hurt and some baghead with no licence, no insurance, no nothing, he's got hurt, he was getting paid out compensation and so was she. So it's causing raising concern. So they brought a new law called ex turpi causa. You can't get legal action from an illegal action. So I've tried 3 times with high class barristers, this, that and the other, and it got washed up. So basically, in my view, British Steel, they're worth millions, with Tata Steel, this, that and the other. So when a complaint went to the council and went to the thingy of Wolverhampton, they gone, here, there's 20 grand, make that cunt go away. So he got his 10 grand through one company first, because they all get excited first to do it. Then when they dig into it, they'd rather take a back seat, take the money off the solicitors or whoever, take the 10, 20 grand handout. Because if I'm looking at 3 to 5 million quid, they'd happily throw 50 grand to make a case go away. So as sad as it sounds, that's exactly what happened 3 times. They took 3 lots of envelopes out to make my case go away. Because I should have been paid out. It's a genuine accident. Not an accident, but it was. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get a lot of stick online, people saying, oh, we deserved it, it was a thieving cunt, this, that and the other. And every now and then I bite to them because I'm like, mate, you wouldn't say that if it happened to your family.
Yeah.
I wasn't harming no one, so, but yeah, that's that.
And what kept you going when it would have been easier to just give up?
My mum. Of all things, my mum. Because obviously, when I was like broken so far, I was with her last of 5 years. And within 3 months, she was gone bouncing off some big musclehead, sending me pictures of him together, calling me a disfigured mess, this, that, and the other. Wrote me off. I won't mention no names, but one of my exes, she put me in the fucking ground, mate, climbing up bridges. And then I scarred the relationship because I'm being cheated on and heartbroken. I forgived her for so many months and begged her back, but she only come back into my life because I was on the brink of death and suicide, do you know what I mean? She didn't come back because she wanted to love me. And then obviously when we was trying to make it work, she was contacting other kids in a brand new area where I moved to. So that sent me on a trip again. And I had to overcome that, and I was broken. I've been fucking sabotaged. And because I'm an empath with my heart, it just wrote me off, do you know what I mean? And then obviously, as that happened, it's my mum. I always thought of my mum. So when I'm thinking I'm broken, even though I'm suffering and even though I'm going through pain, imagine what my fucking mum's going through. Imagine what my family's going through witnessing it, do you know what I mean? It's not nice. So I've had to learn to pull my socks up and be strong with it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you and your mum are very close, and she's been there.
She's my
to
queen,
support
innit?
you
She's
all
the
way.
person who kept me alive and kept me going. But I think if I didn't have my mum and I wasn't like worried and concerned of my mum's welfare, for no disrespect to my siblings, but I probably would have gone by now. I've said it in the past over the years. I said, listen, whether you like it or not, I'm going. I said, I can't do this life no more. I've had enough. I said, I don't want to be here, this, that and the other. But every time I go to the brink of suicide, like I've been on the transport bridge in Middlesbrough a few times, no joke, mate. I'm sat on the edge of the girder, no handrails, no nothing, climbed right over the edge of the steel. Just sat there, legs dangling, hands free, I'm just like rocking, ready to die, mate. I've been in bad, dark places with this accident, and that's because I've never received a care plan to help to give me hopes for a better way of life, do you know what I mean, to rebuild my identity.
And you mentioned being neglected, you know, through the NHS, and we know the NHS has got so much going on and maybe not enough people to help, but what was your experience with it, and why would you say you felt neglected?
So, my first thing I'd like to say, I've not really got a bad thing to say about the NHS, because one, they saved my life, and I'm super grateful for that team in Birmingham, because without that team in Birmingham, mate, I would not be alive, I wouldn't be breathing, and I wouldn't be the man. And the NHS is full of a lot of beautiful people and a lot of beautiful staff. However, with the population of the country and all this, what's going on with the migrants, overcrashing, this, that and the other, it's a joke, mate, yeah? Waiting lists, people sending nurses on corridors, paying extra staff just to help people on the queues. It's a fucking disgrace, mate. The system, how they're doing it now, with the NHS and the system, it's a joke, because there's too many people suffering in disrepair that do need help and do need services, but it all comes down to money and funding. And they're not going to fund loads of different people if they can narrow the funding right down. Do you know what I mean? They've got the fingers in all these pies and these things abroad and overseas and Ukraine funding this money. Sort the fucking British people out. So I lost a mate, yeah? I got emotional yesterday on the BBC. So a mate, Stuart Cooper, sadly passed away, God bless his soul. Couldn't had enough, mate, 5-7 years in. Same age as me, not same threshold as me, 5-7 years in. He had 2 or 3 children, mate, 40 odd years of age, beautiful man, beautiful soul, met him. And he really touched me because he's very similar burns, do you know what I mean? When I had my muscle flap, my gracilis muscle on the back of my hand, he had a neck flap, but I think that took him over the edge. And because he wasn't getting listened to, and because he had bad neglecting dressing changes and infections and bad treatments here and there by inadequate members of the NHS. The NHS is a good thing, but there's certain people in the NHS that ain't running the wards correctly. Mismanagement, lack of funding in certain sectors and so on. So we went through pain and pressure all the shit, mate. And I watched this stuff, and just like I put my videos online, this, that and the other. And unfortunately, mate, the guy's no longer with us. You Google his name. I don't want to repeat exactly what he did, this, that and the other, but if you Google his name, you'll get an understanding of what happened. I broke down in tears on the BBC yesterday because it really fucking hurt me. Do you know what I mean? Getting emotional now thinking of it. But what I'm saying is, I've been on that threshold where I've seen myself on death's door, mate, because I'm not getting no help. And I had to make my choices now where I think I've experienced it over and over again. So it's like, I've been broken that many times. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, mate. Putting the devil in an headlock, I'm going to send them come packing. I'm going to do well, I'm going to inspire loads of people, no matter how hard it hits me. You can throw much shit at me as you want, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you are a huge inspiration for people
mate,
around the
when
world.
When you're broken, the toughest people, God gives his hardest battles to his strongest warriors, mate. So I believe this is a major magnitude of test, do you know what I mean, to see what can break me. And I'm at a point now where nothing can break me, mate. Like nothing, not one person can break me. I feel on top of the world, I feel physically strong, I feel fit, I've got a lot of respect, I don't go about macho, this, that and the other, but I know because of my journey, what I've been through in the threshold, it really irritates me when people go disrespectful towards me. And I've put a video out last week when I come back, I said, listen, I don't give a fuck if you're 22 stone, 6'5", you want to disrespect a loved man like me that's been through fucking hell, do me a favour, DM me, I'll come hunt you down right now. And that's not me being boisterous, but that's just me. All I'm doing is advocating my life, show my journey in hopes to inspire and strengthen other people up who are struggling in disrepair, because there's a lot of people out there who, how can I put it, they're not tough in the mind, they're very weak minded, they're not uneducated, but like not as wise as I am, they're not articulated as I am, do you know what I mean? And I see people committing suicide left, right and centre, and I see all this suffering in the world, and I think I'm here for the fucking reason, mate, to make a change and put my impact out there, do you know what I mean? So that's me main mission that I'm doing now, is just to document my journey. I don't know how long I've got left, Dean. So when you do research on electrical injuries, you've got a thing that, what is it now? So it's a 1 to 7 years. So after 1 to 7 years, you can get a, what's it called? A delayed onset of injuries. on their PubMed website, this, that and the other, and it explains you have invisible injuries, like major underlying health conditions, that it's very, very fucking difficult for the consultants to even find them problems. Do you know what I mean? Like problems with the brain, problems with the heart, problems with the organs, this, that and the other. So in my head, just receiving that fucking blow of voltage right through me, it's got to have shortened my lifespan. It must have shortened my lifespan, because there's no way I'm going to live to 55 or 65 or 70. I just know that for a fact. Do you know what I mean?
How old are you now?
33. So I'll be honest with you. I don't want to upset my brother here, but I probably won't see 40. I rate I'm going to pop at about 35, 36, 37, mate. I believe in my own vessel with the research that I've known and what I've done and tuned my brain, especially with the abuse of drugs after the accident, the depression, getting on fucking 3 or 4 grams a packet, doing it in 2 days, then getting another batch, then getting another batch, then eating loads of tablets, then smoking the weed, gone through the fucking mill of depression, trying to do myself in multiple times, as well as the original damage from the initial electrical injury. Then obviously, because of depression state of being rock bottom, skinny as fuck, I'm cranking myself with growth hormone. Then I'm putting fucking testosterone in my body. Then I'm on that 50s, rad 140s, SARMs, just up and down like a fucking yo-yo. So my body, not only the hospital drugs, but I've had some serious fucking cocktail run through this carcass, do you know what I mean? It's in my own head. I feel like I'm sort of ticking time bomb, running out of time, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how long I've got left. I might live 2 years, might live 18 months, I might live 5, I don't know. Yeah. That's why I'm just documenting everything I can. So when I do pop, every cunt can remember as a fucking sick, mad scaffolder that's been through the mill and left a legacy behind, do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And
to be remembered, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, all I can say is to encourage you to carry on making documentaries, post stuff every day, you know, because there's a lot of people you inspire, people who watch you day to day, and don't worry about the trolls. There's assholes all over the internet.
Sometimes it gets me, but I think without the trolls I wouldn't be the person I am now, because the good people, they outweigh the trolls. They get involved and they bully them for me, so I don't even have to fucking ask, because any normal real person sees that I'm a realist and I'm on top of my game and I'm a love man. I've got a lot of respect for the universe and people around me, so when people do show that bad energy, other people see how good my energy is and they go, hang on mate, that kid's a fucking warrior soldier, leave him the fuck alone, I'll hunt you down. I've had people saying they're going to go and hunt people down for me, this and I said I'll punch him up and do him in for you. So it's like, I'm getting respected in some ways.
Yeah, of course. I mean? There'll always be people talking shit if you're on the internet. Doesn't matter what you do, if you do good or whatever. They still
comment. Because they're jealous hatreds, because I carry something very, very powerful and special in my vessel. I must have to go through the journey. So without being blown with trumpet, but when you got alpha males that think they're about it and this, that and the other, and they think they're a tough kid, this, that and the other, and then they look at me, I blow the socks off. I might not be the biggest kid, but they look at me and go, pfft. I basically shut strong men down with what they've achieved, and they look at me and go, nah, that kid's a different breed. Some people respect me for that, some people love me for that, but then at the same time, some people fucking hate me for it. Like I had a bouncer dickhead comment, and I dropped it on his toes a bit ago. I was like, listen, do me a favour, make me up, I've had enough. I said, I'm documenting my journey and taking the piss. You think you're some big daft bouncer, do you? I went in on him, do you know what I mean? So that's what I mean, but I need to stop biting. I just need to focus on my recovery.
Yeah,
stop
ignore
biting.
it.
But it does wind me up though.
Yeah, that's what they want.
Pathetic little rats out there. And it's like, mate, come say it to me face in front of you. Come and meet me in person.
But don't upset yourself over it, and you can never win an argument online.
No, can you fuck?
When did you feel most unheard?
Most unheard, how do you mean?
In hospital, you know, during your recovery and that, and struggling with the...
So I never had any issues with Birmingham. That was a shit hot elite 5, 10-star hospital. That was pristine.
Amazing. Is that where they treat the Afghan burned soldiers?
Yeah, that was a beautiful hospital. And I go back there every year to see the nurses and see the staff.
That's great.
I have them all in tears every time I go back, do you know what I mean, as I do, to show the recovery. Wythenshawe got a little bit of neglect because they didn't identify the problem in the hand, but they couldn't really do anything for the first 2 years anyway. So you get scar contractors, so when it's healing, it contracts and seals up. So if there was to do any reconstruction services within the first 2 years, I wouldn't be able to get the full benefit out of it, do you know what I mean? So they have to wait for everything to heal first 2-3 years. But my very bad episode that I experienced, mate, was a recent episode at the James Cook Hospital in Middlesbrough. Fucking hell, what a shambolic mess that was. So I waited 2.5, 3 years under their wing to get this surgery done on my hand. So the hand, it's fucked, mate. I can't open it. I can't fucking close it, mate. The hand's battered and fucked, yeah? So all the skin around the knuckles are all jammed. So when I go to open and operate my hand, it doesn't open, it doesn't close. So what they've done, They took the whole back of the hand off, down to the broad bone, tendons, this, that, and the other, all the flesh off, yeah, because it's hard, compound scar tissue. Took the whole muscle out, took the whole back of the hand off. Then they opened my leg up with a 22-inch scar from inside of the groin right down to the knee. Opened the leg up like a butterfly, and they took the full, rearranged all the muscle, did what they did, and then they took the abductor muscle out and put that on the back of the hand and connected it to the radial vein for the blood supply so the skin graft can stay alive. But I explained to him, I went in there in the hospital with a pen, a marker pen, I went like this, I went, look, that is where this flap needs to go. I said, I've dealt with this hand for 3 years now, yeah? I know what this hand needs. Mr. Harris, we know. I said, well, I'm telling you, before you do the flap and before you do this, that and the other, there's no point putting a flap on the back there because they complained about how technical it gets. I said, if they'd done it at Birmingham, they went down there, you can put the flap there. I said, I'm running hard. So when I come out and I woke up out of surgery and I seen where they went with the flap, I was like, it's failed, mate. It's not going to work. Straight away, I knew straight away when they had that surgery. As soon as I woke up and they'd had a Doppler test, so they're testing the blood supply, yeah? And as soon as I knew where they went to, I said, what's that about? I said, it's never going to work. Oh, give it a chance to heal. I said, you're fucking dumb. I said, they've got all hard scar tissue on there. So anyway, they had a flap thing, yeah, where they obviously testing it, blood supply, ultrasound sonar, to take the blood supply, boom, 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 to see that the vein's not disconnected for the radial vein, yeah? And then they had to check it 5-10 times a day. So when they're lifting the flap off and putting it down, they had this shitty basic fucking cotton dressing. Every time it was going, it's sticking on a live skin graft, bro. I've been through fucking 47% burns. I'm one of the most famous burn stars going. I've been treated the best treatments. I know what my body needs, yeah? So I tried to explain to them. I said, listen, I need a different dressing. I need antimicrobial, Acticoat silver. Oh, we don't have that. I said, I've been stitched up on an average ward. Why am I not on a burns ward? This, that and the other. So anyway, when I was lifting the flap off 5 times a day, it was irritating the skin on the hand, yeah? And I was getting bits of cotton and fabric embedded into a live skin graft that's getting freshly healed over a muscle gracilis bypass flap, yeah? And I'm telling them, I said, listen, this is bang out of order. I said, I need a different dressing. I said, that's going to go inflamed. I said, no, it's all right, it'll heal, it'll push the cotton out. I said, are you fucking dumb? I said, what, so you expect that to heal? It's all getting black spots. I had green on it, bro. Discharge and gunk and sepsis. My fucking flap on my hand went through the roof out here. It was harrowing. And when I add the pictures to this, bro, you're going to see it. It was horrendous, right? And then obviously, that's one infection, bro. Arguments back and forth with the nursing staff has been very nice and polite. I said, listen, please, can you get a consultant? I said, I'm really worried about my condition. I'm worried about my condition worsening. So I started documenting it and filming it. Do you know what I mean? Me requesting, asking them nicely and politely. It went on, it went on, it went on. Next minute, my fucking leg's 3 times the size, mate. Massive. I can't even walk, mate. I'm in a bad way, screaming in the hospital down in excruciating, agonising pain. I'm in the bed, bro, for 2 days. My leg was leaking that much discharge and gunk. The whole fucking mattress was soaking wet with dirty green gunk. You come in and change the bed sheet in the mattress. This is no joke. I want this to go viral, yeah, because I can't get no help from it. So anyway, my mattress is soaking wet with green gunk. They changed the fucking bed sheet and left me sat in the same soggy dressing on my fucking leg, 20-inch long scar, for another 7-8 hours. I was kicking up mayhem. I said, listen, this is a fucking joke. I said, I've got sepsis kicking in. This needs the dressing. Anyway, going through the middle of it and getting told off for going in the cupboards, trying to help myself to dressings. I'm like, please, on the cupboard ward. I'm dragging in the cupboard. Get out of there, you can't do that. You're not allowed to change your dressings. I said, listen, I said, I'm suffering bad with severe sepsis. I said, I want my own fucking dressings. And in the end, they give in to me. But out after me emergency surgery, though. So I'm on the phone to 999. I'm requesting the board of staff. I said, get the consultants. I want to go to RVI Newcastle. I want shipping out today. This is a fucking joke. I'm going to lose my leg and lose my fucking hand because no cunt in this hospital is taking me seriously. It was a joke, mate. I've documented it all. So anyway, I set up cats in my wheelchair, I'm zimming myself off out the ward, this, that and the other, I'm getting along. And I'm explaining to him, I said, listen, get on the phone to RVI, I'm getting in my car, which is in the car park now, I'm driving myself to the hospital because I can't get an ambulance there. None of yous are requesting a transfer there. I feel like I'm going to die in your fucking hospital. This is a shambolic mess. It's a joke. I've had enough. I went on a rampage, bro. So anyway, it gets in the fucking thing. I'm angry and frustrated because this is something that really irritated me, yeah? So he gets in the car, goes to Newcastle, they've looked at me and gone, they sorted me out, cleaned me up, had me in overnight, this, that and the other. Then they sent me away with antibiotics because I said, I don't want to be in hospital. I said, just patch me up, I'll deal with my own dressings alone in my own bed so I can manage my own condition. Bearing in mind, it's fucking 10 days after a major muscle gracilis bypass flap. I fucking checked myself out, mate, after I got treated at RVI. Well, because I caused mayhem, and it caused upsetting, disturbing behaviour. I went to PALS twice, yeah, with this nature. I went to PALS twice, raising concern. They washed it up and didn't even take the complaint seriously, binned the papers that were out. I said, why, where's my fucking report paper here? I said, listen, this is a joke, why are you washing this up? I said, this is pissing me off now. Went PALS twice. And then I went to the main board of directors at the James Hospital thing. I said, with my footage on my phone, I said to the main director, I said, listen mate, you the big top dog in here. I said, I want to speak to you. Very politely, very well spoken, very calm and collected, because I'm a respectful man. I know how to deal with these things, yeah? As I'm in there, getting ambushed by 2 securities, bro. We've got some little Asian kid, yeah, about 4 foot nothing, trying to jump in my face. I said, mate, move out of my face now before I volley you all over. I said, I'm here, minding my own piss, yeah, talking to this lovely lady from Powers, trying to explain the circumstance. And I'm in the conversation with the board of directorship of the fucking hospital who runs the show. I said, who the fuck are you to come in here? Move, you little dickhead. So I threatened him because he's getting a bit brave. I said, what are you going to do? You ain't going to pull no one. I'll pull your ears off your head. I had a bit of a ding-dong, this, that and the other, because he irritated me. And then I tried to make complaint with the ombudsman, which was the next stage. The ombudsman got sewn up by the response from the board of directorship. Then I went to a solicitor. They're saying the same sort of thing. They have it all sewn up, because if you've got like 10,000 people in the NHS all putting in complaints to raise a concern, that's a big pot of money out there that they've got to do. So they have to reduce every claim by a threshold and so on. It's a joke, mate, that James Cook Hospital. Fucking pissed me right off. And then obviously that was it. I got a red card warning. So because I caused that much fucking disturbance in the hospital with the powers and this, that and the other, because I'm a realist, bro, I don't take shit for no one, and if I see neglect, I'm going to fucking present it to him, do you know what I mean?
Exactly, and you're laying there having to change your own bloody plasters.
It was a fucking joke, mate. I had to decide to do my own shit because they wouldn't let me, do you know what I mean?
You're getting sepsis. So why do you think they're so inadequate and
it's lack of funding.
Care?
Lack of funding and lack of uneducated members of staff on the night wards. Some are really good. I'm not going to slag the whole NHS off, because they're a beautiful thing and what they do is excellent. However, in certain times of the changeovers from certain wards, they put the lowest uneducated people in charge of the wards. Like I had this girl, I said, I'm on the buzzer. Will you stop getting on the buzzer? I said, what do you mean I stop getting on the buzzer? How dare you? I'm in agony with my leg going bad. I want new dressings, I want help. And you're complaining that you've got to get off your fat ass, yeah? Walk down the fucking corridor and see to me twice because I pressed the buzzer twice. I said, that's fucking disgraceful. And getting, because I got irate and abusive after being calm and collective, I got signed off with a red warning, bro. So I'm not with the back of the queue for it, do you know what I mean? But that was a mad episode that I went through, bro.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're in agonizing pain.
Oh, it's rough, you know.
And
obviously, this is all on my Instagram so far, so we've got like 800 posts, but if you go back so far, you see it all. It's fucking harrowing, bro.
Yeah, I've been watching it, and I mean, if you're in so much pain, you are going to be, you know,
agitated, especially dealing with sepsis and that.
Yeah.
But when you've got a soul and when you've got a person in that much pain, and then you've got some fat Yorkshire pudding, yeah, sorry, like sweat discharge hanging out of it, whatever, it's a joke, bro, yeah, pitbull tuna, wasp it was, right? She wound me up, mate. I said to her, I feel like punching your head in, but obviously just anger talk, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was it? She was getting complained and causing upset because I was requesting medical help, and I said that to her, I said, why are you getting upset and agitated and pissed off and annoyed that you had to come down the ward to see to me? Will you stop getting on the buzzer? I told you I'd be with you in half an hour. I said, I'm in fucking pain, I've got no medication.
You know, your fucking face is burnt off.
Bro, it was a joke, mate. I got stitched right up. They put a Rolls Royce, yeah, in an average fucking backstreet garage as far as I'm concerned, because I didn't even go on a Burns ward. So my frustration with that and anger, and more anger and frustrated because I nearly lost my fucking leg and then I lost my hand.
And how do you think this affected your healing?
Oh, it stressed me out. The hand took longer to heal. The leg took longer to heal because that was it. So when I was walking out of James Cook Hospital, as I was near the entrance walking off the ward and that, I got rushed by the main consultants. What's going on? What's going on? We can't have this getting exposed. We can't have this going out in the hospital. We can't have you going to RVI because then we'll look like fucking dickheads for not keeping you. So they rushed me in for emergency surgery there. And then on the day that I kicked up so much fuss and I'm leaving that hospital, bro, yeah, they rushed me in for emergency surgery when it could have been dealt with fucking 2 or 3 days before.
And you got up and gonna walk out yourself?
Yeah, in a wheelchair, mate, my legs strapped up on a thing like that, pushing myself out. I said, tell the fucking heavy cunt in this hospital it's a shower of shit, I'm going to RVI and you cunts are getting exposed whether you like it or not. So the next minute I've got them all rushing down the fucking ward. Miss Harris, we cannot let you leave this hospital.
Yeah.
She's a lovely lady, so calm down because she showed me respect, said we understand. Next minute, bro, she's putting her hands all over my leg, yeah? The fucking leg's solid, like concrete. And she's a certain word for it, I can't remember what she said. This is a joke. we need him in emergency surgery now. I got carted off straight to emergency surgery, bro, on my fucking birthday. All because no cunts were listening to me. I know my body, I'm a lover and I'm a respectful person, but when I've got pit bulls, uneducated members of staff, migrants on the fucking wing, bro, taking the piss out of my intelligence, bro, I lost it, do you know what I mean? Sorry, I'm getting a bit irate now, it's just wound me up, do you know what I mean?
No, 100%, it's understandable,
Needed to get it out there, do you know what I mean? Get it off my chest.
Definitely.
But the NHS is a good thing, but at the same time, it's a fucking bad thing, do you know what I mean?
And what would proper care have looked like?
Oh, proper care would have looked like when I asked for certain dressing. If you'd like your dressing changed, sir, if you want to change that, we can certainly change that for you straight away. If you'd like Acticoat Silver or you like an antimicrobial non-stick, we'll do that straight away for you. That's what proper fucking care should be. Especially given the nature of the significance of surgery that I went through, bro. They took the full abductor out my left leg and cut it to pieces on the table, sewn microsurgery, sewn veins out my leg into that muscle, re-sewn them veins into the fucking veins in my forearm. It's a very technical, complex procedure, and they're leaving me on the ward crying for hours on end, ringing the bell. Bro, I went in, I seen my ass, big time, mate. I thought, fuck yous, cunts, if you ever have something out, you know what I mean? That was that pretty much, you know what I mean? Sorry, I got a bit irate there, because that is something that really put me through the mill, and I tried to raise concern and complaint with the ombudsman, this, that and the other, and I got sewn up, shower of shit, mate. Yeah. So I had to let off a bit of steam with that one, do you know what I mean?
And if somebody from the NHS is watching now, what do they need to understand?
Oh, so let me put a comment in. So I'm at home, yeah? I'm at home, I get the guy, Mike, from the dermatologist team or something or whatever he was from, yeah? He's phoning me up, threatening me, said, listen, this is going viral, I expect this to go all over the news, I've got news reporters, it's going on my Instagram. He was on the phone, I wish I recorded the phone call as well, but I was in my bed switched up on fucking morphine and all sorts, you know what I mean? I had to get my own morphine from someone I know to sort my pain out, bro, that's how joke it was. And I'm in the, what's the name? I'm in the bed on the phone with, hey, Mr. Harris, I understand your frustration and this, that and the other. I spoke to pals, but can you not post anything online? And we just really like to ask you not to post anything online and don't mention anything to news reporters until we resolve this matter ourselves. I was like, are you taking a piss? So what are you scared of, bro? I said, what, you don't want to get exposed? So I was asked, and then also, whilst I was in hospital, they come at me with a disclaimer form, bro. This is no joke, yeah? Asking me to stop recording my own suffering in the bed. I said, I'm not recording staff. I've not got a camera on your staff. I've got the phone on record, mate, to listen to my conversations with your members of staff. Other people pointed out bad neglect, this, that, and the other, and they asked me to sign a disclosure because they knew it was bad. They knew what they knew they fucked up in the hospital, and that's why they had to stamp down on it majorly to stop me causing mayhem. That's why they fobbed me off with the ombudsman, the MP, this, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if any NHS members is watching this now, what would you need them to understand?
I want them to understand if they're in a position of disrepair, like their patient that they're in care of, think of how the fuck would you feel if you was that person in that suffering? Or if that person is your family member, would you sit back and have your cup of tea and biscuits on the ward desk while someone's pressing the buzzer 3 and 8 times a day and the night time, 3 in the morning, crying? Would you just sit there and then raise a concern or complaint that I'm always upset in the bed? Who the fuck are you to get upset and disrespectful and get annoyed at me for suffering? Because it's disrupting you, sat there on your TikTok swiping at 3 in the morning on your night shift. Fuck off.
Yeah,
you know
100% agree with that.
100%, that's exactly what it is.
And if you don't like doing that or helping people, you shouldn't be in a job like in a hospital. Because people are going to be in agony and pain. They can't get up, they can't piss, walk.
What they should do, they should grill the certain members of staff, especially the night staff, the ones that, the surgeons and all that, they're the elites, they get trained up, they're good people, they understand it, they understand the risk, they do the job correctly, but it's the certain uneducated night staff that have just gone in, they've been there for 6 months, come over on a boat somewhere, they're getting in, and I don't know, do you know what I mean, it's a bad system they've got. They need to basically educate the people that need educating in the NHS sector, so these things don't get washed up and people don't go through bad suffering. Because the one thing that wound me up, Dean, yeah, I had a woman reach out to me, she was crying on the phone on a voice note, I can't remember her name, yeah, but she was crying on the phone. Oh my God, seeing you in the hospital with your leg infection reminded me of my mother. She had a leg infection. She had the same thing. This was in Preston somewhere, I think. She said, I think some Blackpool, wherever. This is no joke, bro. This broke my fucking heart. She said my mum was in the same position, screaming for help, on the phone to us, saying she's getting neglected. Her leg went worse and worse. She was 50 odd or something, the mum. The leg went worse and worse. They had to fucking amputate it, chop the cunt off, yeah.
Right.
2 weeks later, they had to chop the other fucking leg off because that went sepsis in the blood and fucked up. 2 days later, she's fucking dead, bro.
No way.
So when I heard this woman saying, oh my God, your story's powerful, it's reminded me, mum, it's disgusting. So that's what gives me my being a bonnet. It's like there's a lot of people out there that won't fucking speak up, mate, that won't say a single thing and won't help, do you know what I mean? They're too scared to talk. So I want to utilise my strategy and my fucking strength in me to be the motivational speaker and be the person to say it as exactly how it is and defame and shame the people for what they're doing wrong. Because I don't want to see people suffering. If the systems don't get changed, there's going to be more people in the world in the hospitals getting neglected and fucked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I think it's important to say that not all NHS staff is obviously bad people. A lot of them work very hard and overtime.
There's a lot of beautiful people, but unfortunately it's been neglected in a lot of sectors.
Yeah, it is, and there's no denying that, right? There's no denying it. Now tell me, why do you think you still here?
I've got a higher purpose, mate. I believe, some people call me weird and I need sectioning for this, that and the other, but I'd imagine a friend called Jonathan, I used to talk to him, set mum and dad's bedroom on fire twice, my brother can confirm it, I was sat next to me, stood in the corner of the room, lit the fire going, burn me, burn me, burn me, and he used to say, Jonathan made me do it. And we used to get looked at like a freak. Some people call me weirdo and I need sectioning, but I know what's true, yeah? So, with that being said, Jonathan was my granddad's brother. He died, God bless his soul, in 1922, 1932. A lorry flattened his head like a pancake. When you look at a picture of him at 12, 13 years of age and a picture of me, it's identical twins, mate. And it's like, what the fuck, how? Yeah, very
What's the age difference there?
There's a picture of him, he's obviously my granddad's brother, but when he was 12, 13 on a picture, and then when I look at a picture of me at 12, 13, around the age, it's identical to my granddad's brother.
So who did you say burn me?
So I'm saying that Johnny made me do it. So I'm stood in the room after 10 years of age or something, lit my mum and dad's bedroom on fire twice, saying, burn me, burn me, burn me. So whatever entity that was hanging over me wanted to take my skin off me and my flesh when I was a child, because I had an attempt at setting the house on fire. Then, my granddad's brother, he was, a lorry killed him in 1920, 1932. And God bless his soul, he's no longer here, but his head got flattened like a pancake. I was at epilepsy as a child. We both looked identical to each other. I watched the story of God with Morgan Freeman that explains when you get a tragic death that occurs, the soul can get reincarnated, and this is backed up with Hinduism and Taoism. Do you know what I mean? So I believe in some weird mad spectrum with my time with my granddad's brother. My beliefs of why do you think I'm still here? I believe that I've had to, because we're all electrical beings, I believe that I've had to be violently electrocuted by 11,000 volt God's divine light of energy, do a cellular reset in this carcass, and strip the identity off of Darren, bring in a brand new identity of skin off my legs so Jonathan's soul can live on in my physical form. And when I see it as that, I think, you know what, fuck it, bro. I said, fuck the disfigurement, fuck this, that and the other, I'm back on form. I've got a purpose, I've got my reason, do you know what I mean?
So do you think the old you is gone and it's now Jonathan living in your body?
Yeah, I've got two souls running through this carcass, me, mate. Easy. I've got to.
So you think you're still Darren?
Yeah.
But so also part of it is Jonathan?
Yeah. So basically what got me onto that spectrum of that, I watched the story of God with Morgan Freeman. So when you have David Attenborough Wildlife, Morgan Freeman goes in like, why there's miracles, why there's life after death, why there's this, that, and he goes into a lot of Buddhism and belief systems and religions all over the world, why things happen, why the crazy world is how it is. And that's the Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism and all that, they believe when their soul can get reincarnated. So that's why I believe I've had to take the full loss of Darren so Jonathan's soul can live on in my carcass. And when I see it as that, it puts me pain to bed. It puts me big fuck with disfigurement. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, this is just a vessel. Spirit goes on.
Yeah, it does. Because when I physically died in the room, I was spiritually where I lost the physical body. I mean, I was just aware of it. Do you know what I mean? So I know there's some form of electrical connection somewhere else when we get there. Do you know what I mean? 100%, bro.
And after having sepsis so many times, do you get ill much? Like colds and flus or anything like that?
I know how to run my vessel now, so I know what supplements to have, I know what to eat, I know what to drink, and I know how to keep my minerals and my vitamins up and down, do you know what I mean? I know, you just know, you know your own body now, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And what does strength mean to you now?
Strength is just strength now, mate. Do you know what I mean? I live by strength and resilience now. It's like, because I've been through so much pain and threshold of upset in my life, I just love it, mate. You can throw as much dirt at me, you can throw as much pain at me, I'll fucking come back and hunt you down, and I'll win the battle every time. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm tough. I've had to train my mind to be very, like, different to the average person.
Yeah.
And because I've had an electrical injury, and in like a car gets remapped, I believe that this vessel's been remapped to run better, in a way, do you know what I mean? Because I've been zapped by 11,000 volts and 1,000 amps, so that's how I see life now, do you know what I mean? But I've had to choose a way to respect life and respect others and just be nice in the world, do you know what I mean? I have to, because I've been granted a second chance at life, so I can only be nice, I can only spread love and positivity. I can't go about thinking I'm macho, this and the other. I've just got to be loved, man, do you know what I mean?
And what would you say to another burn survivor struggling in silence?
Oh, I want that burn survivor. This is a good question, that. Anyone who's suffering out there with mental health, whether you're a burn survivor, whether you're not, I want you to understand that life is a big game and a big test. And if you're suffering, you need to ask yourself, why are you suffering? You need to reprogram your mind and understand the reason for the suffering, that every part of suffering that you go through has a purpose behind that suffering and a reason. Everything in life happens for a reason, and when you're suffering, instead of having a negative thought of, oh, I'm suffering, I've got anxiety, I can't cope with this, and oh, fucking shut up, you wimp, pull your socks up and find your higher purpose, because you're being watched and monitored, and it's how you, the old saying is, it's what you do with the cards that you're dealt with that matters. You can have the shittest cards in the world, just like I have, and look how my journey I've bounced back, do you know what I mean? So it's all within the determination of the mind, of rewiring and sculpturing the brain activity, what goes on upstairs, you know?
Absolutely, and it's so, I think it goes for anything, autoimmune diseases.
Yeah.
People look at, what have I not got and why am I like this, but, you know.
I'm going to say something very, very powerful, and not many people believe in it, but if you worry about a certain topic in your brain, the electrons and the system with your lymphatic system of your brain, how everything works, you'll multiply your illness. The human brain is a miraculous machine. The human body is a miraculous machine. I'm living fucking proof of it, mate. Sorry for the language. I'm living proof of being a miraculous machine. And I'm telling you now, with my journey, what I know, the brain power from thought of theta, you have the power to heal from your thought perception.
Yeah.
So if you've got a disease, any form of brain disease, any form of liver disease, any form of anything, if you can connect to Earth and the nature of who you are and who your purpose is, you have the power and the ability to heal and cure your disease just from thought. That's a fact. I've done a lot of research into that. And not many people will agree with me, but I'm telling you now, you have the power to heal yourself,
I believe that,
just from thought, mate. If you worry and you think of worry all the time, that's going to eat up like a fast dividing cell, and you're going to get worse and ill.
Get worse.
If you think nothing's going to, you got to feel sort of untouchable and have a major, powerful belief system in your own connection. Like sometimes with my granddad's brother's soul, I find myself talking in the mirror to him, and I'm making him aware that I'm aware of him. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, listen, I'm fucking grateful you put me through that fire, and I'm aware that you put me through that. I'm aware that you're watching and monitoring me, and I'm telling you now, I'm not going to let you down. I'm never going to fail you. I'm going to keep surprising. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going, and talk to that unforeseen energy. And I tell you something, you get rewarded for it, mate. Honest to God. Probably looking at me like, you need fucking section and you can't. But that's a true belief system that I have in my vessel, do you know what I mean? And it works for me, so...
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, it's whatever works in your mind, do you know what I mean? Whatever you're comfortable with, you know?
What do you want people to see when they look at you now?
I want people to see a person that's been through hell, fire and pain and chose to live life in a nice manner at the same time as helping other people suffering and inspiring. And I want them to see me as an icon and a bit of a legend for what I've been through and how I've dealt with life, how I've dealt with PTSD, how I've dealt with trauma. And I want to be known as a helper of love, of God. That's what I believe. I need to help other people out there in the world that's suffering bad. Because there's a lot of people who, tough kids, big army heads, big juice heads, big muscle geezers, big hard kids that won't ever show any emotion. But when they're on their own, mate, and they've got that thing eating away at their soul upstairs, they're the fucking big mambies, mate, crying, because I've been there. Do you know what I mean? So I want people to see what I've been through and utilise that to give them ultimate strength to pull through. Do you know what I mean? Because I believe it's powerful, and I believe I've got a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I speak the way I speak, why I motivate others the way I do. I've had it hard because I've had to feel lots of heartbreak after my accident. Misses of 5 years wrote me off. Then I had someone else for 18 months that fucking shafted and rafted me. Then I had another last recently. The mother could never upset me. I won't mention no names. Do you know what I mean? And obviously that energy nipped on and you get with someone who's normal. I'm embarrassed of dating a burn survivor. It's just what I've had ill with women. Do you know what I mean? And my head's been fucking wrote off with it. So it's like, I just love myself now. Do you know what I mean? And get over it, you know? But I want people to see me as not a bit of a, because I'm a bit mouthy sometimes and sometimes let myself slip at how I conduct myself and how I am. But I just want people to see me as a strong person and someone that's got a lot of love in them. And I just want to help people who are suffering bad with mental health and anxiety and depression. And there's always light at the end of the tunnel. No matter how hard you face in life and no matter how bad your adversities are in your soul, what you're going through, you can always manipulate it. You can manipulate that energy and turn it into gold. Like my brother keeps saying to me, every time you go in a bucket of shit, you come out smelling a whipped cream. And everything I touch, I sort of turn to gold with how I am. Not trying to big myself up or blow my trumpet, but I've had to, the years I've had, mate, it's been phenomenal. So now I'm just I'm still learning. I'm still finding a fine balance with how I am and what I cope with and how I deal with life. Do you know what I mean? Because every day is full of surprises. It's a learning curve. Every day you learn something new, you know?
Yeah.
I'm still on a long road, a pathway, aren't I? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. And what does surviving mean to you?
Surviving, it's a difficult one to ask, but surviving something like what I've been through, sometimes I wish I never went through it, and then sometimes I have to see how many people, like surviving to me, it's my own personal thing what I've been through, but then when I see how many people, I can't even get to the end of the comments, I can't get to the end of the message requests. I feel awful on the people because I've got a lot of thousands of people around me who are always supporting me, always liking my stuff, always commenting, but if I start engaging in conversation and comments and stuff like that, it's taking away my personal time that I need for my private self, and then when they send an inbox and crash in, and I'm not keeping up to my thing, so I feel awful on the people, but the only thing I can do is document and share my journey and like everything to show appreciation. Every now and then I do a video saying, listen, I just want to say a massive thank you to all the love people in the world who have supported my journey, this, that and the other. I'm sorry I've not been able to contact, there's thousands of not been able to get back to. But surviving to me is like just an act of courage and strength and resilience, and I'm grateful for it, you know, mate. Like I'm super grateful I went through that pain and threshold because it's given me an ultimate reason to help others who are down. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's important that I do that, and it's important that I train my brain to just carry on being strong, you know.
And is it okay if we, put your social media tag for Instagram in the description, and for other people who might be going through the same thing to reach out to you?
Yeah. I get it a lot, so I get a lot of people, I get messages of burn stars, messages of other people, mate, I've seen your journey, I've suffered bad mental health and PTSD for years, after seeing what you've been through, why you've helped me so much. It's like I was in the Fifi, and they wouldn't let me get in the ring on the Fifi. I was a bit drunk, a bit cocky, I'll fucking get in there, send it anyone, do you know what I mean? It's as you do, a bit cold, happy and all, this, that and the other. I'm glad I didn't actually. I would get in with someone I know, but getting in with a little Muay Thai bang, do you know what I mean? I'm getting fucking fucked up and put on my ass quicker than you say, boo, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I was on there, and then I met a fighter in there, and his little baby brother had a house fire, and he showed me pictures of him. Oh, mate, he come over to me and said, mate, no way, give me a big hug, this, that and the other. I said, mate, I've been following you, I need to show you my brother. 5 years of age, house fire, melted fucking to bits, mate, exactly the same as me. He's 8 now.
Unbelievable.
So he broke down in tears, crying, we both broke down in tears at the ring, crying, hugging each other, this, that and the other. So I've done a little post about him and I explained to him. I said,
see, and that's something nobody can understand.
Yeah, he was an Australian lad, and I said to him, I said, listen, I do not want your little baby brother 8 years of age to go pre-bear, teenage years, 12, 13, gets bullied at school, head goes, and then there's that risk factor he does himself in when he's got the power and the ability to do it as a child. I said, I do not want that for you. Do me a favour, just keep in contact with me, speak to me, and let me see your little baby brother, please. I need to do some sort of fun with him, activities, meet him, get pictures together, treat him for food, and uplift his spirit. Do you know what I mean? Because it'll break my heart if I know another burn survivor's done themselves in because he can't cope, because I've already lost one person because of it. And I'm getting at the end of my tether with mental health and suicide. It's doing me fucking head in, mate. Do you know what I mean?
And then lastly, what does your life mean now compared to before the fire?
I've got a bigger purpose. I've got more life opportunities. I've got more strength, more resilience, and it just means a lot more, and it makes me really value life in a different way now. Like, I appreciate life so much more than I ever did. Like, so badly. Like, experience what I've been through, and then I've known for well the impact that I'm having on other people, left, right and centre. It gives me that accreditation. And every time I get that accreditation, it's like a foundation and getting another building block on my block. Bump, 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 and it's doing me a good deed. I'm getting endorphins out of it. Other people are getting out from it. So I'm doing something good in the world, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you, brother. You're a huge inspiration for myself as well, and we'll keep staying in touch.
Will do.
Also, if anybody is watching this, obviously Darren needs a lot of reconstructive surgery. There's so many. You can personally reach out to him as well if you are able to help in any way, shape or form.
That's it. Before we finish off, can I just add some things in there? Like, so basically, I did try and put a bit of posts out of the GoFundMe. Every now and then when I'm down and depressed and I'm going through heartbreak or I'm going through problems, I put posts out GoFundMe begging a bit of help. I was thinking I'm going to, all of a sudden I'm going to get £1 million to get fixed up, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boom. And it's a bad thing I'm doing because one, I'm getting bad slander for it because I was a thieving get in lockdown, so I just shouldn't have the right to beg for money. Even though I should, but it's getting a lot of bad press from it, so I have to stop that. And the way I see it, there's people off way worse off than me. There's children worse off than me, there's people with missing stump fingers, broccoli in a bad way. So I'm quite fortunate to still be breathing God's oxygen. I'm able to work, I'm able to be fit as a butcher's dog. So I'm not in a position to beg money financially when there's other people way worse off than me. So I'll stop that, do you know what I mean? So when it comes to reconstruction services, I'm on a mission now where I'm getting a fleet of vehicles. So I've got my 7.5 ton scaffold wagon, I'm getting a 12.5 ton, I'm getting an 18 ton, I'm getting a 3.5 ton pickup and a van. So I'm getting 5 vehicles in the next 3 to 6 months, hopefully. I'm getting the 5 vehicles, stickered up, labelled up. I'm going to put that message out there, and hopefully I can get winning award contracts, the big contracts of 100, 200 grand upwards, and then I can put 10 men in charge of the 5 vehicles and say, off you pop boys, come on, let's run a big show and do a parade. Because I don't want to be asking the nation for money, mate. No, I don't want to do it. There's other people that need that money and need that services, and there's innocent people out there that are worse off than me, cancer patients, people in bad way, giving me money, and I feel bad for it, mate. So when I get established, that'll get it all back and more. Yeah. I'm going to give him 3 times the money back that did the whole finger. I don't want to go down that pathway because I don't want people to look bad at me. And just people worse off in worse conditions than me helping me, and it's fucking wrong, mate. Do you know what I mean? When I'm in the position and I'm young, I've got my health and my wealth about me, to do a magnitude flip with 5 vehicles, a scaffolding wagon. Yeah. So I've got my little business set up, obviously right now. I've just got my website done. I've got my bits and pieces. It's a long way off, a bit 6 months away, but that's what I think to myself. If I get 5 vehicles, stick it up, labelled up, and I put that out there in the universe and show, listen, this kid's got 5 vehicles ready to go. I need a fleet of men strong, and I need a load of kit, this, that and the other. That's when I'll get help from hire companies with kit. That's when I get principal contractors from scaffolding firms and building firms. Yeah, mate, we've seen your journey. We've seen how you scaffold. You run rings around most scaffolders, even with your condition, which is I want him to see. I've had that from a few top busywig scaffolders. Said you're putting most of our lads to shame. I'm not blowing my trumpet, but I'm a fast worker and I've got a lot of drive. And the reason why is, I'm not saying I'm better than the best scaffolder in the world. There's other kids out there that'll punch my head in and outdo me on the scaffolding, but I'm very good at my trade, I'm very knowledgeable, and it's like, I just want to get myself in a position where I can fix myself up, and if I can do that, it shows more act of courage and strength and resilience, and it's more of a boon for me to leave a big legacy behind, you know what I mean?
Well, it's good, you've got a goal, and if you can envision it, then you can do it, you can achieve it, 100%.
Anything in life is possible, mate.
Yeah.
You put your mind to it.
On that note, brother, thank you.
No worries.
Really enjoyed it.
Sorry you had to wait for so long for me to come in, but I've been a mad busy person up and down like a yo-yo, do you know what I mean? But we finally got there.
Got it done.
It's been an absolute fucking pleasure, mate.